Welcome back to Melody Guitar Book 3. This book focuses on learning how to read and play melodies in standard music notation. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of Melody Guitar 3 that you can read from and write in. Plus, you can help support a music teacher, so I'll leave a link in the description. We're on page 10. We have 2 more melodies with pull-offs. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the middle of page 10, we have number 12, Long, Long Ago. This is in 4/4 time. It's marked Adagio, quarter equals 72. Before we talk about the pull-offs in this one, let's look at the roadmap. This one has a DS al fine. Remember, the S in DS means we go back to the sign. The sign in this case is at the beginning of the second line. Al fine, to the finish. We go from the sign, when we take the repeat, to the fine at the end of that same line. At the beginning, we have 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. So there's our first pull-off from an A to a G on the third string. So I'm pulling downward because I'm plucking with this finger, but I'm also pulling outward a little bit so I avoid hitting the second string, the string right below it, and I'm giving myself a little bit of insurance by touching that second string with one of my fingers of my right hand. Moving on, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Now another pull off here. We're pulling off from E to D. And we want to make that nice and even. We don't want to do this. But 1, 2, and 3, 4. Next line begins as the first line. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. Here's another pull off. So that's another pull off from E to D. Third line. 1, 2, and 3, then a low G. Then F, pull off, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and then to the F, and another pull off from E to D. Then we jump back to the sign. And there's our fine marking, so that's where we stop. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, play. Repeat. At the bottom of page 10, we have number 13, this Hungarian folk song. It's in 2/4 time, marked Allegretto, quarter equals 104. Before we talk about any pull-offs in this one, let's look at the repeat signs. At the end of the first line, there's a backward repeat. There is no forward repeat. If there's no forward repeat from that point, we go back to the very beginning. So in other words, we play that first line twice. Moving on to the second line, we can see there is a forward repeat, so we know we're going to be jumping back to that at some point, and that's going to be at the beginning of the third line. There's a first and second ending. The repeat from the first ending takes you back to that forward repeat at the beginning of line 2. Second time through, we skip the first ending, jump to the second ending. Watch out for the B flats in this one. We have F, G, A, B flat. That's going to be 3rd fret, 3rd string, 3rd finger. 1 and 2 and then we have a pull off from A to G. So altogether that's going to be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Third measure, there's another B flat. And notice those accents above the C quarter notes. So bring those notes out a little bit. You don't have to bring them out too much, but bring them out a little bit. Ba, ba. Another B flat coming up. And a pull off from A to G. And then 1 da dee da da, accents on those last 2 Fs. And there is a pull off right before that from an A to a G. And then we have that repeat sign, so we go back and do that first line again. Let's say we just did that and move on to the second line. We have some accents here. 1 and 2 and accent. And by the way, we're all done with pull-offs in this one. We just have regular picked notes. Accent. And then we have that repeat. That takes you back to the beginning of the second line. I'm going to go ahead and do that again. It's pretty short. Now we're at the beginning of the third line, but this is the second time through, so we jump to the second ending. Accent. Your assignment is to practice Long, Long Ago and the Hungarian folk song on page 10. As always, work on keeping a steady tempo by playing along with the video or play to a metronome so you can choose your own tempo. And don't forget to order your own copy of Melody Guitar Book 3. I'll leave a link in the description. Take your time with this, and then when you're ready, I'll see you on page 11. I'll show you how to play pull-offs with 2-fingered notes.